Hi there, it's Jeff
and Cassandra
from RV Parenting. And as you can probably tell, we're not in our RV for this video. Our RV is actually in the shop right now. And so that's what this video is all about. Warranty service on your RV. What are the do's and don'ts? What are the legalities? What are the headaches that you hopefully want to avoid? So we're getting into all of that. So what do you got for us?
Well, the first question that came to our mind was, can you legally take it anywhere for warranty service, whether this be manufacturer or an extended warranty? In the state of Texas, they say no. They want you to keep it with your dealership. This is a CYA technique that they use for, the fellow Texans.
And I don't know why the government feels like they need to get involved in telling you where to take your RV for warranty service. In our case, it's the dealer is over 3 hours away, so it's not exactly convenient.
And that's Jeff's beef on this matter.
One of them.
So beyond that, though, I actually like the fact that we have to take it to a dealership, and the reason behind that, they know the history. They know us. They know what our RV has been through, and they have an already working relationship with the company that you're purchasing from. For us, it's Newmar. So who better than to handle all of our instances where our RV isn't working at superb factor than the manufacturer and a dealership? And we also found, though, in our extended warranty, that if you're 100 miles beyond home, you can get your RV serviced anywhere. So let's say that your kitchen sink faucet just pops out and you can't figure out how to get it in. You call it a service area where you are, and they will come out, they will check it out, you bring it in, and you get priority, which means that you're not having to forsake your vacation so your RV can get fixed. They get it in and out as quickly as possible.
And is that just for emergency kind of work?
It's any type of work that is out if you're 100 miles beyond home. So for us, we're in Wimberley, Texas. If we drive to Dallas, which is only 300 miles away, actually it's less than that, they're going to cover it. They're going to take care of it. So it doesn't matter if it's an emergency or if it's not. For instance, our slide out, a wheel popped out in Lubbock, and we could have easily have taken it into the shop. We just were on our way to Santa Fe and rather have waited. But we had access because we were 100 miles beyond our home.
And it's 100 miles from our home, not from the dealer.
Not from the dealership. This is where your actual RV is located. So if you keep your RV in a shop that's actually 20 miles from your home, then that is where they're going to actually keep the records of where the RV is located in its natural habitat, if you will. Like, this is where it resides, the RV's home.
So the next question people have, of course, is how long does warranty work take on an RV? And this is the answer you're probably not going to like. So bear in mind that if we're talking about warranty work, either the regular dealer warranty or the manufacturer's warranty or an extended warranty, the first thing that the dealer, if that's where you're taking it for service, the first thing they're going to do is contact either the manufacturer or whoever is providing that warranty, because they can't do anything until the repair work gets approved. So that's going to involve taking pictures of the damage or the broken pieces or whatever the issue is, sending it off to these people. Luckily these days that's probably via email, not snail mail, but they're sending off the pictures, the documentation, there's probably paperwork to be filled out, and they're sending all of that off to whoever owns that warranty, either the manufacturer or the third-party company. Then they're getting approval. Just that process alone can take 3 weeks. And then, let's say they get approval, they probably don't have the parts they need on hand. After all, most RV dealers carry multiple brands of RV, and each brand of RV can have dozens of different makes and models, and that's even just in 1 year. So potentially hundreds of different RV models that they use, and they're not going to keep parts on hand for all of that.
You can't call it in advance though at the dealership and ask them, do you have these parts on hand? You can kind of negotiate when you get your RV in there. If it's going to be 3 months, you can plan your life around that.
Yeah. So anyway, to make a short story long, expect your RV warranty work to take probably 2 to 3 months, maybe even longer, depending upon the nature of the work.
But that's just the gist of the game. And then once you get your rig back, I mean, isn't it great to be home again? It's kind of worth it to know that it's functioning at 100%. Which brings us to our next topic. Can you get your RV serviced by a mobile mechanic? And the answer is yes, but typically the warranty service is not provided. This is going to be an emergency service. This is, you're out there and your hose pops out this time from the sink's fine, but the hose pops out and you have to get it fixed. that type of service is going to be taken care of. But you're not going to have just typical, the paint's peeling off. They're not going to come and take care of that for you. This is going to be emergency only services. However, what we discovered in Florida was that the RV site we were specifically staying at did not allow mobile RV mechanics to come in. They wanted you to have it towed to the location. So we did learn that kind of hard way. So you want to make sure that wherever you're staying, ask them, do mobile services come here? Are they available to come here?
And when we were in Lubbock, when we first had issues with our slide out, we were afraid that we wouldn't be able to get the slide out back in because one of the rollers popped off. And we ended up finding out that our particular slide out had 5 of those rollers, and it could work just fine with one of them removed from the situation.
Which we did.
However, we weren't sure what we were going to have to do, and the owner of that campground actually gave us tools to actually get the slide out working again, and because we had to pry that wheel out because it was kind of wedged between the floorboard and the slide out, and we needed to get that out of there before we brought the slide out in. So they actually not only encouraged us to do a little work on it, but they provided us the tools to do it as well.
A downside of the mobile services, they can't always, service your vehicle. You may have an issue with it that they just don't have the parts for, or just aren't able to reach because it requires moving the slide out actually away from the RV and separating the two. So mobile services, emergencies only, do not count on that as your safety net whatsoever.
So the next question that comes up is, well, why can't I just go on the manufacturer's website and click their service button and then look for the closest service center to where I'm located? And of course, as Cassandra covered, in the state of Texas, that's not even legal if you're talking about warranty service. However, before I knew that, I did exactly that. I went on the Newmar website, I went to service centers, I found one that was much closer to us than the dealer, and they were an authorized service center, whatever that means. I called them, and they actually only do collision work. So the only thing that they're good for is fixing dents in the body of your RV if you get in an accident. They don't do anything else. That was a little frustrating for me. So I would encourage you to probably not just go on your manufacturer's website and look for service centers and figure that that's going to work. Certainly don't drive there without having spoken to them first.
Yeah, definitely call your dealership. For us, we even have a point person that we call. We need services done. We go straight to Jacqueline. We don't have to bounce around from one operator to the other. She has our file ready. She's our case manager, if you will, and it really makes the transition quite smooth.
And she knows Newmar really well.
Yeah, she knows Newmar very well. I like Jacqueline. She's good. So if you're ever shopping in Katy, Texas, and you need an RV, I definitely recommend looking up Jacqueline in the service department.
And that's at Holiday World.
Yeah. So actually, this ties into the next subject, which is, do RV dealers let you camp at their locations? And for us, we got lucky with Holiday World in Katy, Texas, that they have full hookups there, and they let you stay the night there. So for us, they didn't do intakes on Saturdays for repairs, but we would come in Friday, drop it off, stay the night, and just come back. And they would actually start on it. Our drop-off date was supposed to be tomorrow, so a week from the day that we dropped it off. But they knew that our circumstances with children, work schedules, school schedules, that just dropping it off and leaving it with them for a week was better than having to figure out how all the schedule's going to work. And it was actually nice. It was right off Interstate 10, which I don't know if you've been in the Houston area. It's loud, but you couldn't tell from where we were parked. I slept really good. It didn't feel like I was boondocking. It didn't feel like I was camping. It just felt like kind of felt like a luxurious night out in a hotel, but in the comforts of our own RV.
It was sort of like boondocking at a Walmart, and I know there are people who consider that to not be boondocking, but sort of like camping at a Walmart parking lot, but you had full hookups, and you're surrounded by other RVers, and it's in a relatively secure area, well lit and all that. So it was a nice place to just go and spend the night, and then drop our RV off with the service department the next morning, and then drive back. For us, with a 3-hour drive to and from, it was a great option.
And it's not going to be one of those situations where you're sitting outside on your comfy chairs and mingling with the other everybody is there to get their stuff fixed and then head back home as quickly as possible. But if you have that option, find a dealership who will allow you to do that, because you'll find that for us, it was enjoyable. It made the stress of having to drop off an RV and do the paperwork and inspection just run a lot smoothly because we had that option to stay the night.
Well, and more importantly, as Cassandra said, it enabled us to get our kids from school on that Friday, get them to wherever they were going because they didn't come with us in this case, and then drive the 3 hours and get there before they close. That way we can get hooked up. We had another vehicle with us, obviously. We went and got dinner, came back, spent the night, and the next morning we walked over everything with the service center, and we were on our way back.
45 minutes in and out. And then, so definitely if you have the option to stay tonight, do it. It's totally worth it. Or at least we found it to be worth it.
And I don't think Holiday World is the only RV dealer that offers that service. So I'm sure lots of other ones do as well. So depending upon where you're going and who you bought your RV from, definitely check with them to see if that's an option. I didn't know it was an option, and it's a great option to have.
Yeah, especially if you're driving more than 2 to 3 hours to your dealership, which isn't the case for everyone, but we live in Texas, so it takes a day to get anywhere here.
Pretty much. Anyway, I hope you liked this video and found it helpful. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. It sends a great signal to YouTube, and then they'll show it to more people just like you. Then, of course, smash that subscribe button and the bell notification button too. But with that, we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.